Hey. Greetings and salutations. It's Daisy. If you're new here, I mean, that sounds kind of like, it sounds weird to say, but we're touching on new material, we're touching on new topics. So I do feel the need to say, like, if you're new here, welcome to my humble abode. From the title of this video, you can see that we are about to embark on a 12-week long journey, specifically a creative journey, specifically a spiritual journey. Okay, I'm officially checking myself into the creative recovery program. I got it. I got the book. I got The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. It's been a long time coming. This book got introduced to me a year ago in 2024. I'm excited for this journey, and like, okay, let's just hop right into it, because if you don't know me, I have diarrhea at the mouth. Like, I just talk. Like, I just don't know when to stop. Why am I doing this? So I posted a TikTok last week, I believe it was, or like the week before, about how I've dropped the ball. Like, I kind of feel like, you know, I am not like where I need to be as an artist, or like where I should be, or like where I feel like I should be. I like to stick my head out the car and look up at spirit, like, you still with me? Like, you still there? Because sometimes, you know, you can be going throughout life and you start questioning things. TikTok got like a little snippet of it, but if you know me because of my log journey, then I feel like you've gotten like all of the heat, and thus that's how we got here. Originally I was gonna start in September. I don't even know what came over me. I don't know what possessed me. It must have been my higher self, because, you know, I wasn't planning on starting it so soon, but I went to Barnes & Noble's last weekend, August 4th. I'm sorry, August 3rd. Last Sunday I went to Barnes & Noble's and I got the book, and I got a new bookmark. I have a bookmark, but from what I can tell about like the Artist's Way and this journey that I'm about to go on, I need to tap into my inner child, and what better way to do that than to buy a bookmark with the Powerpuff Girls on it. Oh my goodness. It's so funny because Buttercup came to my birthday. I don't know if it was like my 6th or 7th birthday. Like, I don't know how old I was, but she came to my birthday. And she was my favorite Powerpuff Girl at the time, but I feel like on the exterior, people will probably think that I'm Bubbles, because I'm just so like, peace, love, and happiness. But growing up, I could never decide on whether I wanted to be Blossom or Buttercup, because I also felt like I had brains. Like, I love how Blossom was, she kind of felt like the leader and all that type of stuff. But now that I'm older, I know I like Buttercup because I felt like she went against what the stereotypical little girl is supposed to be interested in, and how they're supposed to talk and how they're supposed to look. And I really like that too. I didn't mind Bubbles at the time. I just felt like she was very cliche. I said all that to say that when I got this Powerpuff Girl bookmark, it brought back that memory of Buttercup coming to my birthday, and I was like, you know, Buttercup was my favorite, but now that I'm older, wiser, I definitely think that I'm all three. Like, why must I choose? Yeah, I'm definitely all three. All of the Powerpuff Girls are me, and I am they. I got the book. I felt extremely intimidated, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get the book, and I'm gonna mentally prepare myself, and I'm gonna start September 1st. That was the goal, that was the plan. I don't know, I think curiosity got the best of me. Between curiosity, my higher self, probably my inner child, my artist, and spirit, all of the forces were moving me, and I was like, well, let me just read the first page. Let me just read the introduction or the preface or whatever. You know, and I felt moved. And I felt like the more I kept reading the introduction, the more I just needed to go ahead and get started. And I realized that I want to wait for reasons that are based in fear, and I just need to get past that. So I was like, fuck it, like, we're starting here, we're starting right now. Fuck it if it's not Sunday, because, you know, my OCD, sometimes I'm like, let me start at the top of the week. But it was like, no. It was a great introduction. It was a great easy read. Like, it wasn't too much, not too many difficult words. I did have to look up a few. My initial thoughts going into this is that, you know, I can definitely recognize that I feel nervous. I feel scared. I think I'm scared to commit. I'm scared to see if I'm actually going to do it, which kind of sounds self-sabotaging, but I feel like there's this voice in my head that's saying, like, you're not gonna do it, you're not gonna get through it, you're gonna be inconsistent, which is so bad. But I feel like that's why I have to do it. And so, I mean, just recognizing it going into it, I'm definitely nervous, but I am excited. Like, the negative feelings are definitely matched with positive feelings as well. I do feel hopeful, I'm excited, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I'm interested in the material. So a little war going on inside my head, but that's okay, that's all right. Okay, so this week I read the introduction, as well as the spiritual electricity, the basic principles, as well as the basic tools, which are, I guess you can call them sub-chapters before the chapters and the weeks actually begin. She opens up with a conversation about how someone asks her, like, how can you teach people to be creative? Like, you really believe everyone can be creative? And she was like, yeah, I do. And so I like how she opened up with that, because I think a lot of us don't think that we're creative people, but I think I can agree with her, because I do believe that as humans, we are creative beings. We are creative animals, artistic beings, and I think that we should, you know, dwell in that. So I like how she opened up with that, and then she started going into how she'll refer to God throughout the book, but whether you believe in God or not is irrelevant. She goes into, you know, her own journey as far as how she even came up with the idea to write The Artist's Way. So that's a nice story, that's a nice read. She talks about how she went sober and how she didn't really have the initial thoughts about, oh, can I be a writer and not drink alcohol? It never really crossed her mind until she stopped drinking alcohol, and then she was like, damn, like, can I be a good writer and not drink alcohol? Like, can I do this, like, sober? So I thought that was a cool little light bulb, a little gem, probably some foreshadowing, because, you know, I've looked at a few people's videos and journeys. I've heard some things. I know a detox is definitely on its way. I really enjoyed the basic principles. She opened up with how our inner artist is basically our inner child, and how we need to give it attention. You know, if we had parents or a guardian, someone of a higher figure looking down upon our creative dreams, we'll harness that and we'll project that attitude onto our own artist and to our own creative journey. And I definitely related to that as well. I remember when I first wanted to major in theater arts, because I didn't even know what I wanted to major in going into college, and then when I had chose mass communications at first, but then after going through orientation I changed it to theater arts, and my mom was supportive. I think it's because she had a bit more experience, because she actually went to college and my dad didn't. So my dad was just more so like, I don't think you need to go to college and to be an actor, to be a singer, to do that. Like, you gotta go and learn something, like learn how to do something, a trade or something that's gonna make some money, you know what I'm saying? I really like how Julia states that how creativity is a spiritual experience, and how it takes a commitment, and how our time that we commit to this course is going to be sacred. And she has 10 basic principles that she suggests that we read every day. So one of the things that I'm going to do today is write those principles out and stick it up on my calendar just so that I can see it, read it every day. This is where I'm going to be doing my morning pages as well. So, you know, every day I gotta see the principles, affirm it, believe it. One thing I like too, I don't know if it's in every book, I have the 30th anniversary, but on the side of the book there are these quotes. My quotes on the side, and I really like that. I don't read them as I'm reading it, like I have to like finish the chapter first and then go back and read the quotes. But I definitely took one of the quotes because, you know, I got a planner for this, which I'm gonna talk about later, but I took one of the quotes and I put it in there. So I really like how it has quotes that relate to what we're reading, what we're talking about. After the principles, she goes into how to use the book. Usually when she's teaching the course to her students, she suggests a week-to-week type of schedule, so Sunday to Sunday. Because I started reading last Monday, my weekly schedule is going to be a Monday to Monday. I did skim throughout the chapters, and there's about 10 exercises / tasks. She says that we probably won't get to all of the tasks, but the goal is to get to at least 5. And when she said that, I was like, how many exercises are you expecting? But it's about 10 per week, so sounds doable, sounds reachable. I feel like I'm feeling like a lot of pressure. Like I felt like the morning pages in the artist date was like already pressure, but then now the exercises kind of add another level. Like, okay, like we really have some things to do, we got some homework. There's also check-ins at the end of each chapter as well, so I'll probably discuss that in like my weekly check-ins with you guys and whatnot. She does mention that there's different ways, there's a number of ways to utilize the book. Some people do it in groups. I've heard of people going through Facebook groups and just different avenues working through this with somebody. I'm all for working in groups. I love working with people, and I actually think that that's been a part of my downfall. So for this first go round, because I do think that I would do the artist way again, but for this first go round, I'm going to do this by myself because I feel like I need to recognize my own power and I need to gain some confidence back into myself. But I mean, documenting the process as well, like with you guys, of course, telling you guys my thoughts. In the basic tool chapter, it's very straightforward. She just kind of breaks down in more detail what the morning pages are and what the artist date consists of. With the morning pages, she just really stresses that we just finish them. Like whatever we have to do to get to the end of the 3 pages, even if it's repeating things, even if it's I don't know what to write, that type of stuff. So I think that takes some stress off of it, because honestly, me personally, I do not like to journal. I do not like to write. When I first heard of the morning pages, I definitely was like, because I've been in predicaments, whether it was in college and it was just like an exercise or an introductory, an icebreaker to an event where they want us to sit and journal and share it. And I do not like journaling, and I don't know what it is about it. Maybe it'll come out in this process, but I don't know. It just reminds me of writing. It reminds me of school. It reminds me of an essay. I don't know, but I don't really enjoy writing long forms. I don't mind typing, but I don't want to type. And then she went to the artist dates. It's so funny because before I even like read this, I told my wife, I was like, oh yeah, like maybe you can come with me on my artist dates and like we can do this and that, like. But she definitely stated, Julia definitely stated to do this solo. No taggers, no priors, no onlookers, like just me and my inner artist, my inner child. It doesn't have to, you know, be costly or anything, but just a weekly time block dedicated to me and my inner artist to do whatever that may look like. She definitely mentions that there's different people of different types of backgrounds that have done the Artist Way course, so you don't have to necessarily be an artist or like be an artist as a profession. Like you can be a lawyer, a doctor, a yogi, a dentist, a writer. You can do whatever and do the Artist Way course. She also mentioned this analogy of filling the well and stocking the pond. We have an inner well, and that's basically our artist reservoir, and it's filled with different things like animals and plants and life and wildlife, and it's basically our job as the artist to maintain that ecosystem, to maintain that flow. So we have to be self-nourishing, we have to pour back into ourselves. And one of the ways that we do that is to seek out images, colors, and things that make our artist brain come alive. Because she mentions that our artist brain is an image brain, and how art is a image using system, which I love. I love reading. I love books. So everything that she's saying in here, I'm all for it. I feel like I don't have too much to say, but these are like a few key things that I did want to note in the video because I really enjoyed reading them, you know. She ends the basic tool chapter with a contract, which I am going to write out today as well and hang it up on my calendar whenever I need motivation, whenever I'm feeling down, whenever I feel like I'm not gonna finish, I'm gonna just read that contract, that commitment to myself. And yeah, and you know, one of the things I like that she ended it on a really nice note is that, you know, she said that she requires her students to make a contract with themselves. And then she was like, can you give yourself a gift? Like, is there anything that you can do to commit yourself to the course? Like, buy a nice notebook or hire that babysitter ahead of time for that weekly artist date. And I was like, Julia, I'm with you. Not only did I buy the Powerpuff Girl bookmark, but I did indeed get a cute notebook. I definitely got a notebook for this process, and I got a planner, which I mentioned earlier, and it comes with, let me open all this. It comes with, like, you know, like my top 3 goals at the top, and you know, notes, let's reflect, what are some positive things that happened this month. But this is the part I wanted to like mention. It says this month's, I know you can't like really see it, but it says this month's affirmation. And I told myself that, you know, because this is the Artist Way planner, this is what's going to help me stay organized and committed to myself. And so the monthly affirmations, I'm going to pick a quote from the book and write it there, and I'm gonna just, you know, read it, say it to myself every time I need to like open my planner or make some type of like note change or whatever, like see what it is I gotta do, what date anything falls on. I can read that. And this month's affirmation is, I need to claim the events of my life to make myself mine. And I put, you know, the Artist Way page 10 if I need to go back and see, you know, what quote or what page that was on and who said it. But yeah, that's all. Yeah, like that's what it is. I'm excited to dive into week 1. I'm probably going to start reading tonight. But I'm probably going to give myself like 2 days to read the chapter, because it seems like each chapter is about like 10 to 15 pages, maybe 20. My artist date will be this Thursday. I don't know what I'm doing yet, but when I know, y'all will know. Everything is in sync. I've got my artist date in my planner, it's on the calendar, and it's in my phone. So everything is in sync. There's no way that I can forget, and there's no way that I can come up with an excuse as far as like why I can't do that. I don't know what's about to come out on the other side, but I know it's about to be something worthwhile. I guess I'll see you guys on the next video. Again, my weekly schedule, Monday to Monday. I'll check in Sunday with you guys about the previous week if you guys want to know like in detail and see like what my artist dates are gonna look like, and like a time lapse. I think I'm gonna do a little time lapse of my morning pages. Follow me on TikTok because I'm trying to be more active there. It all makes sense. It's all connected, you feel me? So I don't know, let's do this. If you are starting the Artist Way, or if you needed a sign to start the Artist Way, then this is your sign. Like, let's do this together, individually but together. But yeah, okay, so I guess I'll see you guys next week. We're feeling good. We're feeling good, feeling there.